Hey guys, welcome to Time to Barbecue. We're here in beautiful Charleston, South Carolina at the Den. It's game day today, and for the game I did some great barbecue. Here I've got some Boston butts. We rubbed them down in LBC competition rub along with the LBC Q dust. I'm going to show you how to do all that along with setting up the grill dome on today's episode of Time to Barbecue.
Entry.us, where it's always time to barbecue.
Alright, so to set up the grill dome, what I've got here, I've already removed the ash from the bottom. We had a little bit of coal that was left over, but not much. My last cook went thorough, and I try to always use the correct amount of charcoal, and you're probably wondering, well, what is the correct amount? That comes from experience, folks. You're just going to have to know your equipment and know how much charcoal it takes for the length of time you want. But I can show you a little bit of how I do it. I've got a stick of cherry right here, and this is about a little under a foot long. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set that right over the grate, like so. Now, a lot of people think that that's going to cover up the grates and not let it smoke, but you're going to throw charcoal in here, it's going to do the exact same thing as that piece of wood. So it's not really going to hamper your dampening or the way that the fire is going to breathe through the opening in the bottom. So you got your stick of wood. I like to use lump charcoal. I've got Grill Dome brand here, which I find is some of the best. We're going to cover that up with the lump charcoal. Alright. We're going to add the Rapid Light. Spread it out. Put some of the coals right on top of the Rapid Light. And set the Rapid Light on top of that piece of wood. Alright. We're going to plug this in. And as you already know, 8 minutes, we're going to have a perfect. Once they're lit and they're smoking, you want to add your bottom extender rack. You then want to add your pizza stone. Okay? And this is going to deflect any of the direct heat from the bottom of the pork butt. Next, you just want to add your top grate. Like so. You can shut it down. Okay, so now that we've shut down the grill dome, it's smoking at a nice 225. You want the top fully open like so. You don't want to cut off or restrict any of that airflow. Only if you're getting ready to shut this down is the only time I recommend really playing with the top, or if you've got this thing just so overheated that you've got to bring down the temperature rapidly. But other than those circumstances, I do always run the grill dome fully open. At the bottom, what you want to do is, if you have the new style, you're going to have the screen. So you want to shut the screen, make sure it's nice and locked, and then you bring the plate right to about 1 to 2 of the screen dots open. Once that happens, you'll just have to monitor it to make sure that it doesn't rise. If it rises, just close it back to 1 and leave it there. That is the perfect slide for 225 to 250. If you want to raise it, all you have to do, that's the magic of the grill dome. You just open it up just a little bit. You're going to automatically bring more air into this dome. It's going to feed those charcoal and that fire, and you're going to find that you'll be raising it nice and slowly up to the desired temp that you're looking for. But don't raise it too hot, too fast, because these things are very well insulated and they're very hard to bring back down to temperature. It's easier to come up to temp than to come back down to temp. Just a little tip. Hey, welcome back. Isn't that a great method on how to set up the grill dome? You can not only use that for smoking pork butts, but if you're going to smoke a brisket, use some whole chickens, half chickens, pretty much whatever I smoke, that's exactly how I set up the grill dome. Change out the wood, such like that, but you're going to get that perfect blue smoke every time with that method. So, here we've got the pork butt, and normally if I'm just doing pork butts for my friends and family, I don't trim too much because I want all the nice juices and fats and such like that to be in the pork butt. We'll strain those off later, and I'll show you all how to do that. But when I do see things like this on the pork butt, I do tend to want to remove them. So I'm going to lightly remove that, like so. Take off a little bit of extra fat, as you can see there. We're just going to discard that, put it to the side, and now we're going to season our pork butt. I like to use a couple rubs for my pork butts. I have a blend here, it's my competition blend, and it's pretty much a salt base rub. We're going to put that on very lightly. That's going to bring the flavor of the meat out in the pork butt. To get the color, we're going to add something else a little bit later, but truly the first layer that you put on any meat should be a salted layer, because that salt's going to interact with your protein and it's really going to make it more flavorful. So next we're going to add one of my favorites, Q-Dust. It's by Ledyard Barbecue Company as well. And we're going to put that on a little bit heavier here. And what that's going to do, that's going to bring a little bit more of our signature flavor to the pork butt, along with that beautiful color that you see. Put on a good liberal amount. Alright. There you have it. She's seasoned up, ready to go into the smoker. Make sure that your smoker's set around 250 to 225. Okay, so we've got the grill dome that's right at about 225 right now. Looking perfect. You see that nice bit of smoke. It's a little bluish tint just come out of it. You know that your smoke is just right. That's flavor, folks. So we're going to take this pork butt. We're going to leave it in the pan. We're going to set it right in the middle of the grill dome. We're going to lock it down. We're going to set it. We're going to forget it. This isn't a Ronco. This is a grill dome. And in about 8.5 to 10 hours, you're going to have some beautiful barbecue. Right, so let's see how these babies look. Now, I put these on about 8.5, 9 hours ago. As you can see, they've got a nice, great bark on them already. We've got plenty of juice. The bottom one's got a little bit more juice, but this bottom butt was a little bit bigger than the top one. We're going to check the temperature here. Oh man, I'm showing 198. Those babies are ready to go. 198, 199, it's fluctuating between the two. Okay, so now that these things have hit right at around 200, I'm going to remove them from the grill dome. And as you see, when you do it low and slow, the pans aren't ultra hot to where you can't pick them up. Do be careful. My hands are probably a little bit more seasoned than yours might be. There you go. And that is hot, by the way. But we're going to take these back to the table. I'm going to show you how to strain this fat, get the juice at the bottom, leave the fat behind, and you're going to have some of the most juicy and tender barbecue you've ever had. Now it's time for us to enjoy some great barbecue. Okay, welcome back. Okay, now we've shown you how to set up the grill dome. We've shown you exactly what rubs and spices that we use, along with the method that I use to smoke on the grill dome. Temperatures down check. Alright, now this is one of the most important parts. You want tender, juicy barbecue? You've got the tender and juicy. You just got to know how to get the juicy back into it. Alright, so this is how it's done. Take a full pan of barbecue with the juice. You take your fat separator. Alright, this has a screen on top that's going to catch any of the large particles. Make sure that your plug is in your separator. If not, you're going to have oil come up into the separator on the initial pour, and that's going to taint your juice that you want. Okay? Alright, so once you strained off the juice, as you can see here, there's a lighter line, then a darker. The darker is going to be your flavor. The light or reddish color at the top is going to be your pork fat or grease. You want to remove that. Very easy. Pull this out, all your juice comes up. Pull the juice right over. Do that right down to that line, right when it starts to go in, and we'll stop right there. Now, I didn't get quite all of it, but I didn't want to taint my juice. That is some of the best stuff right there to rehydrate your meat after you pull it, because it's going to lose a little bit of its juices as you open these pork butts up. I do recommend letting them rest at least 30 minutes, up to an hour. You could actually go up to 4 hours without any problems. But if you do it within the hour, you're gonna have perfect pork. Once you separate the juice, pull your pork butts, rehydrate your meat with the juice, and enjoy.